Hey guys, Hector here, and I'm with my friend Melissa. She's visited me. This is the second time. She's from Canada. Of course, I'm in the United States. And I know a bunch of people who watch my channel and my videos want to come to the United States or are interested in coming to the United States. So I just kind of wanted to talk about what you think first of traveling, because I've only traveled within the United States that I can remember, and that was back in 2005. So it was 4 years after 9/11, and they made me take off my shoes and put them through scanners, and I had to go through metal detectors and all that stuff like that. I even had to take off my belt. Uh, and that was just to go from California to Washington, D.C. On the east side. So how was it crossing the border?
For me, like I crossed many different borders, but the border between Canada and U.S. Let me tell you, crossing the border on ground compared to in the air, two completely different things. Like on ground, like I mainly travel like by car or by bus to like the eastern cities and all that, and I think the most that I got checked via ground level is just a random open your carry on, and then you just like fiddle around in there, and then after you're just like okay, close, and you get out. Over the air, this last time I came, this trip right here actually, I got randomly selected by the airline company. I won the lottery. I don't know if I should play the lottery. Maybe the American Visa lottery. Hey. So I got randomly selected, and I got like this SS, like quadruple S's on my boarding pass. So every time like I pass security check or something, they're like, "Oh, we got a quadruple S here," and they're like, "Can we just get this
What
over
is
with?"
a quadruple S?
So basically, it's like extra security. It's instead of just like taking out your shoes and your belt and putting it in the little like cart that goes through the X-ray machine and all that. Um, I have to do that. Plus, I have two options. I either go through this cylindrical thing. You step in and you just like stand like this, and it just kind of scans 360 degrees around you and everything, which I've done before, and I was just like, that was never considered extra security, but what else? Or you get pat down, so they kind of like, check.
Mm-hmm.
So they ask you if you have your choice. They ask you. So 9 times out of 10, people choose the other one, the weird machine, unless
The scanner.
they have claustrophobia or something, and then they're like, I'll go to pat down.
And you said you've crossed the border on land. Was that like when you did a bus ride or whatever?
Yeah, I've crossed the border via car, via the bus. Um,
And how would you say the bus rides are? What kind of company is it? Is it like Greyhound, or is it like an airline company that's also mixed with the bus company, or?
no, uh, for the east side, I noticed Greyhound is the main company that takes care of going between the borders and all that stuff. Up in Canada, they have different company names. There's Megabus, there's Coach, there's you name it, whatever. On the west coast, I noticed it's a different company. It's called Amtrak, and I
Mhm.
thought Amtrak was just like the train, but it's the train and the buses in the west side. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've gone up on Amtrak, mostly the trains, but there are buses. I never really cared for them. I don't prefer cars. I'd go for a train, and then I've taken a ferry one time or two times.
Mm.
What is whatever. But so you don't want to just visit. You want to actually move here, but you're finding some trouble, or what's going on with all that?
So, I'm in the process of like getting my certificates to be like an assistant accountant, and I want to get out of Quebec. I've lived in Quebec all my life, and it's time for me to spread my wings and see what else is out there. Whether it's the rest of Canada or in the States. Personally, I feel my compass is being leaned more towards the States, particularly the Midwest. Just personal reasons. The West Coast, I'd love to, but it's just a little bit expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe I could work my way into it or something like that. But I know I have friends out on the East Coast that would definitely adore to have me there. And I do have like some people that would appreciate me being closer to them in the Midwest.
Mm-hmm. And, well, I live in California, of course, as some people who view my channel might know. Actually, the majority of the United States lives in California. It's the most populous state in the United States, and I believe it's also like the richest state. But it's a really, really long state. It's not super wide. It's kind of wide, I guess, but it's mostly long. And so since it's so long, it just has so many different things. There's like desert, and then there's the ocean, and then there's the forests and the mountains, and there's just so many different things. And that's why I think so many people come to California.
It's a beautiful state.
I'm just saying. But
What's there not to like?
but you still come around for anime conventions all around the U.S., not just in California, apparently.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm hoping to get to visit some of the conventions that happen down south, like in Texas, and others that happen like more in the Midwest, like Chicago or Wisconsin Dells or Anime Milwaukee, just to name a few.
But you also go to conventions in Canada, right?
Yeah. But once I leave Quebec, I don't know if I will stay in conventions in that vicinity or just save up money and go more towards out west and down south type of thing. Or if I end up living in the States, then hey, it's gonna be cheap to travel within the States.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention I don't have to get a cavity search.
Well, a lot of people from the U.S. want to go to Canada.
Yeah, and I just wish that there was some kind of an agreement between Canada and US that we could do a citizen exchange, because I have a friend out east that's like, I love Quebec, I want to move to Quebec. I'm like, good, you could take my spot. Let's see if our governments come to an agreement that way we just do a citizen swap.
That, well, you know, they have the exchange students and for school, but what if they did that for other things, other jobs and stuff?
It would be cool. Sure would open up a lot of doors for a lot of
Mosquitoes
people.
or whatever.
At least to get in legally. I don't want to get in illegally.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. All we have to say about this. I will leave some links to, I don't know, your Twitter account or your YouTube channel. You're
Yeah.
not really doing much on YouTube though, are you?
I've been dealing with a lot of stuff. Like some of it has to do with computer issues, others has to do with personal stuff, and going back to school and all full time is taking a toll on my free time that I have and everything. Plus, I started making my own cosplay, so I'm just kind of like racking up like material in terms of like footage, and then
Well, another option you can always do is just, you know, go on Twitter and just tweet some things out like, oh, I'm cutting this up or whatever, and then you'll have more cosplay followers who like to see your projects in process. That's just an idea.
I don't know. I was thinking of getting a Twitch account. Apparently, that's a big thing. In Patreon, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So Birdie tells me.
We'll talk more about that off camera maybe.
Yeah.
So-
Right. For now, my main priority is get my certificate and get this behind booty over here in this country over here.
Mm-hmm. But again, link in the description and all that.
Yeah, I'll have like my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube and whatnot all down below.
So we'll see you guys later.
Jenny.